Mm. Good morning. Good morning, my time anyway. It's good afternoon, Lisa's
Yes,
time. And
afternoon
it's
here.
probably good evening for a number of you, wherever you might be around this round-shaped planet that we're on, the oblate spheroid. That's just my way of starting the argument before we even get going, because there are one or two flat earthers that hang around the carnivore community. Can you believe that?
No, I've seen them. Yeah.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, it's
They
ridiculous.
are. That's the point. They are serious. They think they've got a point.
Yeah,
Just like the vegans.
exactly. Like literally same
Yeah,
ideology.
exactly. Nuts. Anyway, how have you been, lovely? What's been happening?
Nothing. Been good. Yeah.
Excellent. Nothing is good. No news is good news.
I'm going to Florida soon in a few days, so I'm excited for that. Um,
Nice. Is that the
the
permanent
weather
move?
has been nice here as well. No, I'm going
Hmm.
just for like a few days and then I'll
Okay.
be back and then I'm gonna move later.
All right.
Yeah.
So this will be your first sojourn out there into the big wide world, living away from mum and dad and all of that.
Yeah.
Ah, exciting. I remember leaving home. Well, sort of. Mum came home one day and said, "So you're never leaving home, are you?" I said, "No, why would I? It's too good here." She said, "Well, I am. You can live in the house till it's sold." Uh, Anyway, long story. Right, let's see who's in the house. Any of you? Oh, by the way, let's check before we get going. Have you had much of an uptick in your subs on your YouTube, etc.?
I did. Yeah, they
There you
have
go.
been
Oh,
getting up there, yeah. And I posted
excellent.
an actual video, yeah.
An
I'm
actual
starting to
video.
post, yeah,
Goodness
I'm starting to
gracious.
post more.
Yeah, posting more helps.
It does, it does.
Yeah. If there's anybody here who has not yet subscribed to Lisa's channel, that's very easy. You can do that on Instagram or on YouTube by typing in at Lisa's Life 360.
Yeah.
Too easy. Too easy. Lisa with a Z, Liza, Life, Life 360.
Yes.
There it is. All right. Let's see who's in the house. The carnivore dentist from Hamburg, Germany.
Interesting.
Guten Tag.
In Germany.
Right, let's have some dentistry-based questions from a dentist. He's trying to trip us up, I bet. Not really. Okay, as a carnivore periodontist, I see a lot of patients with periodontal disease in combination with SIBO problems. Any additional advice to carnivore in the transition period to treat the gut? What do you think? Do you have much experience in talking to folks with gut issues?
Um, I mean, actually, yeah, but I find that it's the first week or two, or like the first few weeks of carnivore, the transition period where it's really rough because you still have all like that bad bacteria that was feeding off of, like the processed food and like the carbs and all the sugar refined carbs that people were eating. And in order to actually like flush that out, you have to wait. And those transition periods will be rough. I don't really think there's a shortcut around it. You're just gonna have to get through the first like week or two, and then after you should be fine.
Okay,
That's what
yeah, I mean, I say basically the same. I mean, the only thing I say that's perhaps slightly different to that is that I think a person should transition their diet slowly over 3 or 4 weeks.
yeah, that'd probably be
Um,
easier.
yeah, rather than hammering over and changing
Yeah,
your diet
I
suddenly
think
overnight.
some
I think, yeah,
people have like a cold turkey mentality where they just have to go straight into it, and
yeah,
others it will work better for them if they go slightly. I think it depends on the type of person you
yeah,
are.
absolutely. And, there are arguments for both. I always sort of say, as a rule of thumb, I think people should transition slowly because if you hammer over, it can mess you up quite badly.
Mm,
I mean, a little bit of SIBO for a week or two, that's one thing, but some people get really messed up and it
really?
can take months. Yes, it can take months and months and months to get it back.
Oh,
And so I usually say, look, let's just avoid that. Let's
yeah,
do it slowly, etc. Unless, you've got a person who's, absolutely, I've got to do this all or nothing right now. Ah. Okay, whatever. Yep. New member, welcome Ashley Gill 378. It's always good to have members on the channel. That way, what can happen is YouTube can unilaterally unsubscribe you from being a member to my channel without telling me or you. And I'm not saying that for a joke. They do that often.
really.
Never mind just not sending out, notifications that I'm going online or when or any of that kind of stuff. Never mind the shadow banning in the background. Never mind the sort of subtle stuff. That's not even subtle. People sign up, give the YouTubes their credit card details and say, I want to be a member of this man's channel. And they sign up for that. And you just say, no, you don't. But we won't tell you. We'll just unsubscribe you.
What?
I kid you not. This is real.
That's corrupt.
I know. It's just, anyway, there it is. Oh, the other thing that's different this week, Lisa, is the ticker tape at the bottom of the screen is at the top. Instead.
Oh, I did.
Wow.
I didn't notice that it was different, but interesting.
Oh, Ted is gutted that you didn't notice that. Aren't you, Ted? Yes, I'm very upset. Right, will you go and do your thing? Good boy. Yeah, so I moved it to the top. Hopefully that way people will notice it and actually act on it. It's got some instructions up there. Some secret code instructions. They're not even secret or code, really. They're just things that would be good. Like, you need to buy some raw products. Basically, these three, those ones. Steam Enhance Ultra, Cyactive, and Plasmafly. They're best purchased in a wellness pack because it's cheaper that way. Plus, you won't pay the shipping. That's if you want to buy them at all. If you want them for free, send me an email and I'll tell you how to do it. It's easy. A dog with a note in its mouth could do it, actually. But you do need those products, whether you want to pay for them or whether you want them for free. Either way, you need to get those products into your body. So that's important. What else is on that ticker tape? There's also a Bitcoin address where you can send me all your sats. And if you do that, make sure that you purchase yourself the same number of sats again that day and replace them in your stack. Like, never actually spend your sats without replacing them immediately. Otherwise, you'll end up like that pizza guy. Do you know that story, Lisa? The guy that bought some. Oh, there was a guy early on in the life of Bitcoin a few years back, when Bitcoin was worth 10 cents or something. I forget exactly what it was worth. And there was this pizza place that was accepting Bitcoin for payment. And he said, oh, why not? He bought 2 pizzas with some Bitcoin. And if you translate his purchase of 2 pizzas into the price of Bitcoins today, those 2 pizzas cost him $500 million.
Oh my God. He's never recovering from that mentally. Never. I think like some people heard the story and like he got quite famous out of it. So he did okay. And then some people also bought him some Bitcoin for the same value and gave it to him and said, here's your Bitcoin, you know, because it's a lesson for everybody. But yeah, I mean, wouldn't you be upset if you lost $500 million by buying 2 pizzas? Nuts. So if you do want to send me some sats, the point is replace the sats in your stack so that you've got the same number of sats that you had before you sent me some. Make sense? Good. In other words, you're just sending me fiat money, but you're using sats to do it. Sats are cheap right now, relatively. If you're interested in buying sats, now's the time. Those that don't know what the hell I'm talking about with sats, sats are partial Bitcoins. There's 100 million sats, stands for Satoshis. There's 100 million of those in a Bitcoin. So you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. People go, I can't buy Bitcoin, it's too expensive. Well, buy some sats. Yeah, anyway, that's for another day. What are you planning for your financial future, by the way, Lisa? Have you got your future mapped out? What is it you're going to do? How are you going to conquer the world? So, well, next year I'm going to go to school for like biological sciences. I'll study that for 4 years. And then maybe I'll study something business. And eventually I want to go into like health and wellness, but as like a business, do something there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sort of like as in something clinical or dealing with clients, patients, if you like, or what? Like do you have a particular? Okay. All right. I would probably suggest something that can be scaled, that doesn't rely on your efforts.
Yeah.
Like I have clients, one-on-one clients, and I love my one-on-one clients, most of them. But the problem is, the moment I stop consulting with those clients, the money stops, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It relies on me putting the work in. Yeah. And I have X number of days a week in my calendar where I can see clients. Okay. You need something else, something that scales, something that doesn't rely on your effort, something that pays you day and night, whether you're there or not. So
I agree. I have like some things product in my mind. Yeah, I just like don't want to disclose too much of.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But
You
a
know,
product, a
yeah.
course,
Mhm.
something that just pays you, that people find value in.
Yeah. Sure.
Obviously, I've done it with a product.
Mhm.
You might do it with a product. You might do it with a course. I've also got courses available that people want to buy courses. And I slowly, begrudgingly make these lessons because it's like, oh, this is back to me being a lecturer again. Anyway, right. Who else is in the house? The Feral Grandma, of course, is always here. We love us some Feral Grandma, don't we? Don't forget to like and say something for Al Gore and his rhythms. Patty's in the house. Good to see you, Patty. How's Francois today? Ted wants to know, how's Francois? Whoa. Ted fancies a bit of Francois, so he does. Francois is a frog, a stuffed toy frog.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, clicking the heels and saluting. Very good. Very good. Elise. How is the ranch repair coming? Well, it's like painting the harbour bridge. Literally, you fix something, something else breaks. You fill in the holes in the ground that were caused by the floods. Something else gives way. You put up a fence. It's a process. Yeah, we have 45 acres of chaos here, basically.
45 acres. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's quite a big property.
What?
And we have a number of beasties. That's why we need help, really. And anyone that wants to come and visit Pimbatia to just be here and say good day and meet us and possibly help out around the farm a bit, that is welcome. We have accepted people from all around the world that have come and visited previously. We are getting ourselves set up so that we can accept more people here. But also, we've got family members now that live here permanently. So there's that. And so it's becoming quite a commune here, actually. We really are setting up our independent sovereign nation. So anyone that wants to come and visit, let me know by email, and Ted will check out your credentials. Make sure you haven't got two heads, or if you do have two heads, that they're agreeable. And then we can look at it, really. Right, so there's that. And what else is on that ticker tape that I haven't covered, if anything? Oh, yes, follow Ted on X.
Yeah.
If you're not following Ted on X, you should. So long as you're not offended by very, very short words about bits of anatomy. I can't do anything with Ted. I've kept saying to him, for goodness sake, Ted, you can make your point without being quite so abrasive. But that's his thing. He's his own bear. I can't do a thing with him. And people should respect his identity, shouldn't they, Lisa?
Yeah, I think so.
Otherwise, they're bigots. People just assume that the bear is me. You couldn't be more wrong. Look, quite different. Look, see? Hello.
Yeah, very different.
I'm a bald man. Hello, I'm a non-bald bear. See how that's very different? Anyway, good boy. I've got to pay him his appearance fee now because he's been on camera. Right. Hello from Jennifer. Right. I'll be in and out. Well, that's no good. You must pay attention fully to everything. If the teacher is 15 minutes late, we are legally allowed to leave. Well, we weren't late, so there. We didn't have any technical difficulties today. I've reinstalled my audio so it doesn't echo back at me. That's what it was. I just needed reinstalling corrupt software from last time. There we go. Hopefully the sound quality is okay, because, I mean, a lot of you don't realize that as part of accommodating more people here in Pimbatia, I've had to move my studio, outside to a metal box in the yard. So I'm actually sitting inside a metal box right now, which is not sound treated. Yeah. So I've got CPU fans going. I've got lights going that can make electronic noise on an audio track. I've got the door open because it's quite warm. The sound's good?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm using AI, and that's the thing that went wrong last week. It was echoing back, but I'm using an AI to remove all the background noise, well, most of it. Anyway, so there we go. And it's a tin box outside that echoes around. So there it is. Good day, good morning, good evening. Tracy, Good to see Tracy. How's things in Australia? Hi, y'all. 2 days in a row with me. Yes, I know, you're all privileged. We'll get to some questions soon, Lisa, I know. No specific health claims, but Cerule helped me heal from a pulled hamstring. That's awesome. Yeah, that's the thing about Cerule. It's a product that encourages your body to release your adult stem cells, which are involved in renewing and repairing your body. So anytime there's any kind of injury to your body, or any kind of wear and tear of any kind, really, pretty much, this product has the potential to be useful. Evening all. Oh, it's nice to be appreciated, isn't it? Yeah. Here we go. Right, question. Lisa, go for it. Tell us all about seafood. Is it good on the meat-only lifestyle?
I think seafood's fine. Just make sure that if you're doing salmon or any fish, actually, I'd really stress on the fact that it should be wild caught, because for a while I didn't really care about it. I would still buy farmed salmon, especially like the smoked salmon, just because it was cheaper and I didn't really think that it had that big of a difference. But I would get the worst joint pain in the world, specifically from the farmed salmon, because it's so high in omega-6, and like I would just be in pain for days because of it, and I didn't realize until I stopped eating it. So if you're gonna do seafood, do wild caught, and if that's too expensive, then I'd say stick to beef.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Love it. That's why we have you on, because you know stuff. You know more stuff than many doctors, including that clown Terry Simpson. My God. For those of you that are not following that over there on the X platform, you might remember a few weeks ago, Terry Simpson showed his face here on this channel to have a debate with yours truly about LDL and heart disease and causality and science and statistical inference. He made a complete fool of himself, absolutely got torn 7 by yours truly. And instead of being humble, going, okay, I got schooled by a vastly superior intellect, somebody who knows much more about this than I do, I better, have some self-awareness, perhaps be a bit quiet, sit down, double, triple, quadruple down. And now he's just producing an endless, voluminous torrent of pustulous, excremental disinformation over there on X.
Oh my God.
Most of which is clearly AI generated or LLM generated
Yeah, you can always
nonsense.
tell. A lot of the time, I look in my comment section, people, when I'm trying to talk about cholesterol specifically, and then I see these paragraphs in my comment section of like how LDL studies show like the lower LDL is better outcome, and it's so clearly Chat GPT. Like that's all. I'm like, you can't write any of that yourself. You just got it from Chat GPT. Like, I'm not having a debate with you. It's none of that is your information.
Exactly, yes. But Ted, being the kind of personality or bearality, I should say, that Ted is, he can't help himself. He has to jump in and remind Terry that he's an imbecile, and that stuff about next Tuesday. And also he keeps posting up that link to that debate where Terry was here. So what I suggest is if people want to support Ted in that regard, you should go on X and start doing exactly the same thing. Just remind him how stupid he is and link to that video here on this channel. That way, hopefully that particular video blows up and millions of people see that absolutely hilarious fail on the part of Terry Simpson, who really genuinely thought he was going to do well. Oh, well, there it is. Okay, here's a great question. Love it. What food ought we be feeding our kids specifically for skeletal development, height, frame, skull, all of that stuff? Lisa, go.
I think it's so important that people are actually now like thinking about what they're feeding their kids. So I just appreciate that someone's even like thinking about feeding them better. I'd say raw milk, if you can get your hands on it, is really great for development, especially of like kids, for bones and for height. I'd say very heavy meat based for sure. Yeah, just raw dairy and lots of red meat, because that's going to be the most like nutrient dense. And yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, look, I mean, a lot of people say you need to eat lots of calcium for bones. Well, no. the exact amount of calcium required for building your skeletal structures and all of that kind of stuff, you will find in meat. Meat contains quite a bit of calcium, actually, inside the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So there's that. Also, Family Guy clip, perhaps Cool Whip. Cool Whip. No, not really. Joking. Love Stewie Griffin, though. He's awesome with his football head. Right. Oh, where have I got to here now? Here we are. Right. Been carnivore for 6 years now. Awesome. That took me 6 months to fully transition. Yep. That's
Yeah,
good.
I think that a lot of people expect to transition seamlessly into carnivore, but they don't realize like if you've been eating carbs for your whole entire life, you shouldn't expect it to be an overnight transition into like a whole other fuel source that your body has to use. Like you gave your body like decades, some people, to actually learn to run on like processed carbs and bad stuff. You can't expect like it to just start working perfectly on ketones, and a lot of people use it as an excuse. They're like, oh, I don't feel good for the first week, so I'm done with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. The body takes time to respond and react to whatever changes you make. It's not something that reacts as quickly as it might sometimes. Quite right. I had a problem with low folate. According to whom? On the basis of what?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say as well. Like, was it a blood test? Did you feel okay? If you're feeling okay, then I don't see an issue. Like, if you were going about your day, then a marker on a blood test shouldn't dictate how you live your life, unless it's unless you actually feel what's bad.
Absolutely. Dulce rules, says Zeus. I don't really consider myself a salesperson. I really don't consider that what I do is sell Cerule. What I do is tell people that it exists and what it is, and let them make the decision for themselves that that's something they want in their lives. And then I just facilitate that by saying, well, here's the link you go to get it, really. And if you want to sell it or be part of the cheerleading team, is the way we think about it, then you can too. That's an opportunity. It's equal opportunities here. And you'll find that the remuneration, the pay plan is the same, no matter what color you are, whichever gender you are, whether you're a small yellow teddy bear. We don't dock you for any of those things. So it's fair and just for everybody. Yeah. Okay. Am I mining Bitcoin? No, I'm not. Where is Lisa from? You mean Lisa with a Z?
Lisa, yeah.
Where are you, Lisa?
I'm from Canada.
Canada Stan.
Yeah.
I hope you debate Danny who? And also Matthew Nagra. Mr. K, that's my dad, or was. Yes, okay. Matthew Nagra, happy to debate Matthew Nagra any day of the week and twice on Sundays. He's an arrogant, ignorant boy, not a problem. And I don't know who you mean by Danny. Danny could be anybody. I'll debate anybody, really, pretty much. Most people won't come near me for a debate, though. They go, oh, no, he's too scary. Late again, because that's what I'm talking about. No notifications.
That's so weird.
Still, you'll have to report to me down the back after class. Yeah. Clearly it's questions about crazy stuff. Can carnivore help with oily skin? There you go. Tell us about your skin issues, Lisa.
I'd say please stay away from anything the dermatologist provides you. Like everything, anything and everything. Accutane is not just vitamin A in like a pill. It's terrible. Like it will genuinely cause you so many issues. Don't go on it. If you have oily skin, I don't know. I had, I guess, like mildly oily skin, but I don't know if carnivore is a thing that resolved that, but it did resolve my skin issues. If your skin is just like a little bit oily and it doesn't actually have any, breakouts or anything, I don't think there's too much to worry about. Maybe you can use a little bit of like a beef tallow to help balance that out, but just stay away from any medications that the dermatologist gives you, and yeah, just try carnivore out and see how it helps your skin out. I also did a YouTube video on carnivore and how it did help me with my skin, so if you want to watch that, you can. Like the specifics as well.
All right. Thanks for the question about research design. The thing about research design is that's kind of a whole lecture, several hours lectures actually, on best practices, etc. on that. I'm actually running a program about how to read the literature, how to critically evaluate literature on my Patreon membership, which I understand has been quiet for the last few weeks. There's been a bit going on here. But the next couple of lessons were going to be about exactly this topic, as in the basics of how to design a research project to answer a question. Perhaps Nick Norwitz should watch it when I've released that, because it's quite clear he's got no idea. He's not the only one, mind, but there it is. So we'll leave that one for now, and I'll make those probably a couple or maybe 2 or 3 videos actually on research design and put them up on my Patreon. And those that are members at the $10 level or above will be able to watch it and go, oh, that's how you design research. Okay. All right, here's the thing we get every week. It's about raw dairy versus pasteurized dairy, raw cheese versus pasteurized cheese. You know, shall I read the question? Is raw cheese always better for health? And is raw goat cheese better than raw cow cheese? As I live in France, I have plenty of raw options.
I think that if you have plenty of raw options, always go for the raw because it doesn't hurt and it always will just be better than the pasteurized because it has more of those nutrients intact that weren't destroyed from the pasteurization process. I don't know if goat and actually if the cow cheese is A2 cow cheese, then it's probably nutritionally the same or probably just as good as the raw goat. But if it's A1, I'd go for the goat because the goats don't have that mutation that creates the inflammatory proteins.
Yeah. Almost all dairy consumed by people that live here on this farm is raw goat. And a lot of people think, oh, isn't that a bit goaty? It's not.
It tastes good.
It is awesome. Yeah. Yep. Very good. Don't panic. Nobody died. That guy from Snake Diet YouTube channel, in other words, Cole Robinson, was talking crap about Anthony Chafee, Ken Berry, and Sean Baker. Well, that's no surprise. Cole Robinson talks crap every time he opens his mouth. He's as dumb as a box of rocks. Really stupid. Or a really clever marketer, or both. In terms of when I say really stupid, I mean in terms of his grasp of science, common sense, apparently. I think he's quite good at marketing himself. Let's give him that. But he's an idiot. Cole Robinson, goodness. Not everyone from Canada is stupid, clearly.
Is he from Canada?
He is. Yeah. Have you not heard of Cole Robinson?
No.
The Snake Diet. The Snake Diet. His channel is called The Snake Diet. Basically, Cole Robinson comes on and he's probably 2 or 3 times as offensive as I am at my worst when I'm, doing my thing. He curses more than I do, which is quite something because I curse a lot. And but everything he says is just stupid. And he changes his mind every 3 weeks as to what's popular to talk about. So first of all, it was fasting. Then it was only eat sugar.
Oh, he was a sugar diet guy?
For a while he was, yeah.
Oh my God. I think I have seen that.
Yeah. Just, not a good source of information. All right, next question. Hello. As an carnivore, you mean carnivore, would it be very bad, stressful for the body if I eat, let's say, every 3 weeks, one normal meal with carbs and then go straight back to carnivore? Have fun with that, Lisa, I should say.
I don't know why you would is there a reason? Is it maybe just because you miss, I don't know, a good like carbs. I don't know. I don't think that it's necessary to every 3 weeks to go back. I'm not sure if it's necessarily too stressful to the point where it will make like significant damage, but I don't know. I wouldn't cheat every 3 weeks and have like a timeline for when you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, maybe
Yeah.
one slip up is okay, or just like once in a while if you're out with people. Yeah, I'd say
Mm,
that's okay, but I'm not sure. This is like
mm,
interesting
yeah.
territory over here.
Absolutely. I think that there's some quite telling verbiage there. Normal meal.
Yeah.
Normal meal. There's nothing normal about poisoning your body with contraindicated, unnecessary, toxic plants and carbohydrates. I think that's abnormal. The fact that a lot of people do it doesn't make it the normal thing a person should do. Yeah. Here's another way of looking at the whole thing. The reason that we eat is so that we might live. It is not the other way around. I hope that went up some flagpoles. Have you ever heard, read, or discussed the ideas of Petro Dombrowski? Have you? Nope, neither have I. Opinions on chicken. Chickens go book, 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 book.
Um,
Perhaps ask a better question. Go on, Lisa. Tell us all about chicken.
I know that a lot of carnivores will say that chicken is you shouldn't consume it at all. I think that it's okay to consume once in a while. It's for
Hmm.
most people, it's not going to cause an issue. I do eat chicken when I feel like it. But again, I don't think majority of someone's diet should be coming from chicken. Like a few times a week, I think upwards of a few times a week, I think is okay. And honestly, a lot of the times I find just listen to your body. Like if you're really craving chicken, which for some weeks all I want is chicken, but then after that I will just be repulsed by it and all I want is meat. So just focus on what you actually crave, what your body wants, and try and get the best quality you can, like a pasture raised or yeah, so you get a little better of an omega-6 ratio to omega-3.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Um, here's a good one. Here's a good one from DFC. Thank you, DFC, for that. Nick, as in Nick Norwitz, will just say that your, meaning my, methods are too strict. Oh, okay. Well, let's do an experiment right now. An N=1 experiment, a naturalistic observation, if you will. Let's see if Lisa's understanding of research design and the responsibilities of a research scientist is as good or better than Nick Norwitz, who has a PhD and an MD qualification. So, Lisa, here's the question. No pressure. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong, but here's a question. If you are a research scientist and you want to answer a question and you come up with an outcome variable that you'd like to measure,
Mm-hmm.
however, you do not have the equipment to measure that yourself, you do not have the skills to measure that or interpret that yourself, ergo no ability whatsoever to actually stand behind the output data that you are going to publish in an article that you are writing with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Is that acceptable scientific practice?
Probably not.
There you
What,
go.
what was the claim that he was putting out there?
Well, what happened was Nick and his friends did a study where they were looking at supposedly some aspect of diet,
Mm-hmm.
low carbohydrate diet,
Yeah.
and the progression of soft plaque in
Yeah.
the
Oh, I heard about
arteries.
that one. Didn't the
Right.
results come like, didn't they say that there was no plaque progression on people with high LDL?
They said a lot of things about the data, output datas. All of them proved to be wrong. They communicated very poorly about their research to the lay public and to the actual scientific community as well. They made themselves a laughing stock. They made the keto carnivore community look very, very silly indeed
I
because
was
of
second
their
study.
arrogance, ignorance, and lack of training. And now it turns out that a large portion of their outcome data set was falsified, not by the authors of the paper, but by the company that they paid to collect the data for them because they did not have the skills or equipment to do it themselves. Ergo, they had no business writing a paper about this data because they did not themselves collect it. And you got that correct. Ergo, I hereby award you with an MD and a PhD qualification, because if Nick can have one and do that, then Lisa, you deserve one too for getting that right. What do you think, boys and girls? Should we give Lisa 2 terminal research degrees because she's obviously as clued up as Nick Norwitz? Or maybe we should buck our ideas up in terms of who it is that we're giving certificates to and on what basis. No, that's just crazy talk from me. Of course it is. Of course it is. Yes. Here we go. Liza. I always want to say Liza when it's spelled like that. It's just an English thing, I think. Your videos on acne is Instagram only or YouTube? My 24-year-old daughter has severe acne. We were bad parents and allowed her to be vegan when she was a teenager. Oh my God. Okay, right. Lisa, go.
Yeah, so it's both on Instagram and on YouTube. I talk about it a lot on my Instagram, so you can provide her with that, Lisa's Life 360. But I think also the YouTube is more in depth, so she'll get more of an understanding. Yeah, it's at Lisa's Life 360. So yeah, it's available on both.
Check it out. It's excellent. Also, if you want to see how clued up, mature, and really quite knowledgeable Lisa is on a number of topics, have a look at the way she responds to idiots in writing on her channels. It's quite something to behold. Whereas I take one approach of just slapping people with the full force of the backhand. Lisa is much more gentle, isn't the word, because you still get your point across very forcefully, but much more. Yeah. Anyway, you check it out for yourselves. I loved it. That's why I invited her on, to sort of be the counterpoint to my abrasiveness and abruptness and no, you're an idiot type thing. Anyway, here's an interesting comment from Stewie Griffin. I know you are against Arjunas. No, I'm not. Arjunas is dead. It's very difficult to be against someone who's dead. Although he does have, no, he doesn't, he's dead. He does have a respectable endeavor in the processes of legalizing raw dairy for over 100,000 annual raw dairy consumers in California. Whatever.
I'll give him that, I guess.
Well, he doesn't need it. He's no longer with us. There it is. He did his thing, and now he's passed on, sadly. And he was an actor. And had a Wednesday afternoon certificate in nutrition, and that's about it. Okay. Right. Can glycation occur through immediate contact with carbs and sugar in the stomach, digestive tract, topically? Or is it only possible once it is metabolized into glucose, which then enters the blood?
From what I know, I think that it's in the blood where the glycation is actually happening.
Inside the blood, inside the cell fluids. Mainly it's in areas where glucose and other sugars can sit around for a while and be exposed to other elements and thus form the chemical reactions that bind the glucose or other sugar molecules to the fats and protein structures that really shouldn't have them there. There's not really much that goes on in your stomach except dissolving things. It's very acid there. It's all about breaking things down rather than adding things together in the stomach. Okay. Question from George's Prado. I did Accutane years ago, and as soon as you stop, it doesn't work anymore. That's the way most pharmacological drugs work, isn't it? Yeah. As Accutane is synthetic vitamin A, can I try non-toxic real vitamin A supplement instead?
I'd say if you want to clear your skin, you don't have to focus on getting vitamin A from a supplement. If you just do, I think, a strict carnivore diet, maybe if you really want to heal your skin, just do like a meat and eggs, then that is going to do everything for you. You don't need synthetic vitamin A for that. it will just get better on its own with just eating properly meat and nutrient dense food, mostly meat and eggs. Yeah.
Awesome. Correct again. Oh, Feral Grammar, I'm very impressed that you remembered. I'm very impressed. Am I going to do a birthday live stream? Yes, I think I will. Maybe I'll invite we'll have a panel show. It'll be awesome. Would you like to be on the panel show, Lisa, on the 30th?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
There you go. Nice. I'll be another year older. I won't actually be another year older. I'll be another day older on the 30th than I was on the 29th.
True.
A lot of people always, on your birthday, how does it feel to be another year older? I'm not. I'm a day older than I was yesterday. Anyway, there it is. Yes, and I shall be, dum-dum-dum, how old will I be? Let's all guess if you don't know.
How old will you be?
Yeah, go on.
54.
Yes, very good.
Actually?
54. Yes.
Oh, I guess that.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah. Wish you a birthday, George. Pedro's linoleic acid leads to insufficient reactive oxygen species, leads to excessive insulin signaling and hunger mechanism speculation guy. Okay. He writes the hyperlipid blog and gobbled fatty burgers. Okay. Petro? Who's Petro?
Is this the question?
Other than that's who Petro is. Is Petro even in the chat? Has anyone mentioned anyone about Petro? How did that come up? I don't know. Right. Have I considered collaborating with worthy individuals like Dr. Malcolm Kendrick or Thomas Seyfried or Casey Peevler, rather than wasting your brain power with the imbeciles? Well, sure. Any of them that are keen or want to. I've done some good collaborations with Eric Westman, for example. He's worthy. I've done a collaboration with Ken Berry, which he then buried on a back channel somewhere and didn't put on his main part of his channel. Thanks, Ken. Good work. I also give Ken advice when he wants it, for some reason. I've done collaborations with Anthony Chafee and a number of others. Perhaps you should watch all my videos on repeat until you understand that I have. Okay. Oh, here we go. Lisa, muscle meat or bone marrow, which is better?
Why only one?
Exactly.
Both.
And,
yeah.
And why would one be better than the other, and in what regard?
Like, meat is meat. Eat whatever you like. I love bone marrow actually with a steak or with muscle meat. It tastes delicious. You don't need only one of them. Just eat everything that you want. Yeah. They're both great.
Absolutely.
Bone marrow is an amazing source of fat, nutrients, and muscle meat, protein, and nutrients. Yeah.
Perfectly handled. Lovely. All right. Can you explain why we don't need and shouldn't eat any fiber?
Oh, this is a good one. So I would start by asking, why do we need fiber? And people will say, oh, it's so you can poop. But fiber is just indigestible glucose. It's cellulose. It's just indigestible matter that comes from plants. How is that beneficial for us in any way? It's genuinely just things that we can't digest, and then it just passes through our system. I don't know how people think that that actually helps us out. And for the people that do say that some of our gut bacteria will feed off of the fiber and then create beta hydroxybutyrate out of it, or butyrate out of it, it makes no sense, because when you're in ketosis, you're constantly creating your own butyrate. So why do you need the bacteria to ferment the fiber to do that? It's ridiculous. I think fiber is like the biggest scam in all of health, the whole health space right now. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. And then there's that one and really only one pseudo-clinical study that's ever been done. I think it was in equal 62 or 63 or something, where what they did is they split the cohort into, I think it was 4 different groups, where one group was asked to continue to eat exactly the same amount of fiber. One group was asked to increase their fiber by 50% or something like that. And then there was a group that was asked to reduce their fiber by 50%, and another group that was told remove all the fiber from your diet.
Yeah.
And they all presented at the beginning with idiopathic constipation. Idiopathic's a great word, isn't it? That's medical speak for we don't know why. Doctors aren't allowed to say, I don't know. So they say, it's idiopathic. Oh, okay, doctor, it's idiopathic. Right, I see. Anyways, the results were that basically commensurate with the amount of fiber that remained in the diet, if they added fiber, the symptoms got worse. If they stayed the same, then the symptoms stayed the same. And if they removed all the fiber, then all the symptoms went away. 100% of the time.
Yeah, and like when people are trying to defend fiber, it's always the point that the studies show that people with more fiber in their diet are less likely to get colon cancer. And first of all, in every single one of those studies, the actual increased risk is like so minimal, because the actual risk, like it literally increases by 0.5 your risk if you eat a lot of fiber versus you don't. And then also the people that they're examining, the ones that are eating more fiber are also not eating McDonald's cheeseburgers. They're eating whole foods and more, just more real food. And the people who are eating less fiber, most likely eating processed food. You have to actually compare like people who are on a vegan diet to people who are on a carnivore diet to actually get any, and their like colon cancer rates to actually get, like something of merit,
Yeah,
and they
absolutely.
don't do that. So it's ridiculous. Any study that has to do with fiber, it's conducted terribly.
Yeah, and not just fiber. Any study to do with any hard health outcome of any kind in human beings as it relates to any intervention, be that dietary or pharmacological, nonsense, all of them, rubbish. Not one single properly designed, properly disciplined, not one single study that can inform us on cause and effect exists, actually. The one thing I would pick up, though, on your answer, which was brilliant, by the way, Lisa, again, was this word risk that's thrown around. Risk, you say?
People really mix up the relative risk with the absolute risk. Like they
Absolutely,
will get
they
you
do.
by saying, oh, your risk for colon cancer will increase by 50% if you don't eat 20 grams of fiber a day. But okay, increase from 50%. What is my actual starting risk? If it's like 1%, then what? I have a 1.5% chance of getting colon cancer. That's ridiculous. Like it's so invaluable, that claim.
I have quite right again with the whole relative versus absolute, but I have a real problem with the use of the word risk at all, because risk implies mechanism. It's necessarily a cause and effect inference, and it cannot be supported with any empirical evidence. It's associative work. What we're talking about is incidence, not risk. Because when you say your risk of heart disease or one's risk of heart disease, I say my risk, your risk, Auntie Floss's risk, Yellow Ted's risk. Whose risk are we talking about? On what basis? On the basis of a study of a bunch of people. Great. How are those people described? Are they my age? Are they my gender? Or are they some percentage of genders? Because I'm not 51% man. I'm all man, Lisa. So I am. And you're all woman, aren't you? Or are you 49% female?
No.
No.
I'm fully XX.
All right. And also, if you look at these studies that tell you all about your risk, Lisa, you will find that the average age at the beginning of the follow-up period is usually 55 plus.
Yeah.
Well, that's closer to describing me than you, isn't it?
Yeah, and also it's funny when people say, like, if I'm eating meat so much, oh, my risk for cancer is gonna go up. But like my risk now is very, very, very near zero. So
Correct.
I don't care. And also for most of these things, you're right, there's no mechanism behind how it actually, like how saturated fat causes heart disease, or how fiber helps with colon cancer. Like there's no actual reasoning behind it. So it makes no sense to actually label it as a risk, because it's not. It's just a tiny association, it's barely even association when you look at the data.
So I think we need to get rid of this word risk that's thrown around. What we are talking about is retrospective assessments of incidence of outcomes in that population that was followed at that time under those circumstances that those people lived. how does that inform me going forward in time on my risk of anything? It doesn't.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
at all.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, good. I'm glad we got that one squared away. What is your thoughts that along the great apes, you mean amongst the great apes, human digestive tract is designed for carnivores, or the carnivore diet, I presume you mean, versus gorillas, for example, who have a digestive tract that's quite
I mean,
different?
if you just look at the length of the digestive tract of carnivores versus like carnivorous animals versus the like gorillas or orangutans, like their digestive system is so much longer than ours. Like their intestines, it goes like this, like it's this compared to this for like an actual carnivore. So if you compare the human digestive tract, you'll see that it way more closely resembles the one of a carnivorous animal rather than a herbivore, herbivorous.
Absolutely. Yep, you bet. Talk a bit about the cecum too.
Yeah, the cecum.
Okay, the appendix, the vestigial
Oh, yeah,
appendix that
also
humans have
our
got.
appendix is like out of it doesn't work anymore. Like it has no function. It's vestigial. So like the appendix of an actual herbivorous animal has function. We don't. Ours doesn't. So I think that resembles a carnivore more.
Yep. Okay. Ever since I started fasting and eating less carbs, I've had the best erections. I don't think that's a coincidence. Neither do I. I don't think that's a coincidence either. What is the genesis of blood clots? How can they be attenuated or stopped from forming? There are many different things that can cause the blood to clot. Immune responses can do it. Cytokine storms, amyloid plaquing can do it. Hemorrhaging can do it. How do you attenuate or stop them? Well, there are pharmacological means that are used in a hospital situation to prevent clotting when that's necessary. In terms of what a person can do in their own time, I guess you can ground electrically. That thins your blood by a factor of 3. You can take acetylsalicylic acid, aspirin, that thins your blood. You can take warfarin, but usually has to be prescribed, but you can actually buy it over the counter in many states. It's rat poison, basically. I don't suggest you do that. I don't suggest you take warfarin either unless it's on prescription for a very specific purpose for a very limited period of time. Does that cover it, Lisa?
I think so.
Steak and Butter Girl, Bella. We love us some Bella. I'm going to be on Bella's channel again coming up sometime soon.
Oh, really? I'll be looking. Yeah, I'll be paying
attention. Yeah. So I'm doing a session on her private channel, the Q&A session with her paid subscribers, and also a public appearance. I've done several public appearances on Bella's channel in the past. I've met Bella in person. She's lovely. And her husband is a great bloke too. We did a speaking thing in Adelaide a bit back, which was good. Bella's it's going to be awesome. Anyway, the Steak and Butter gal did display a picture of her bad acne. She was a vegan. Yes. No more acne since she went carnivore. Yes, correct. Yeah, she did have very serious cystic acne. Yes. We love Petro. Who the hell is Petro? Still,
I don't know.
I'm not seeing any Petro in the chat or any mention of Petro. Why is Petro suddenly coming up? I don't know. Just so you know, boys and girls, I've got 5 minutes left because I've got an appointment at the top of the hour. So if you want any last questions for Lisa in this session, you should get them in quick. And we'll try and answer them. Should I stop raw cheese for a while to optimize my oily skin appearance?
I have never, I don't know if that's like a correlation. I don't think I've noticed anything on myself. I don't know. You're gonna have to test that out as like an N=1 thing.
Exactly. Great answer. Yep. FIFO. FAFO. Mess around and find out. Yeah. Fiber doesn't just pass through, it causes damage and inflammation. Yes, correct. It does.
Yes.
So it seems, yeah. Should anyone eat fermented meat, fish, and polyamines?
fermented meat. Is that like the high meat that a lot of
Rotten high meat. Yeah.
I mean, that just seems disgusting
Yeah,
to me.
I agree.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has a reason to do that. There's like no benefit, I don't think.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Agreed again. Is there any benefits to eating fish on carnivore?
If you like it, if you enjoy it, if you feel good on it, then yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
Fish
you bet.
is great. Raw salmon is like one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Omega-3 derived from natural sources rather than from a capsule. Quite good too, perhaps, possibly.
Dine as well.
I would never take an omega-3 supplement, by the way. Don't do that.
Those are like, I'm so against them because they're all oxidized and they're all damaged.
Yeah. Where did you learn that?
I don't know.
There's a paper, there's a research paper on that very topic published in a journal called Nutrition. That's in the 2018 volume, and it's by a very smart, intelligent young Swedish scientist called Pim Jansson and some other bald bloke that talks about that. And Nick, here's what we did. We collected our own fucking data. We analyzed it ourselves. We calibrated the machine ourselves. We stand behind the data. We cross-checked it ourselves. That's what scientists do, Nick.
Yeah, I think I do remember I saw a study or something where they were like looking at omega-3s, and the specific like type of omega-3 that is found in a capsule was just stored in people's fat cells, and none of it actually went to their brain. So yeah.
Right. So, Lisa, how did you develop your reasoning skills? They are fantastic.
My reasoning skills, I don't know. I think I just naturally have them. And also, I do find that when I am in like a ketogenic state, my brain is so sharp. Like it works better. I am way more fiery. Like, I can respond better. Everything. Yeah. So I do credit a bit of it to that for sure.
Awesome. All right. Let's see if there are any last questions before we time out. Apparently, Lisa is fantastic. I agree. She's fantastic. Okay. Before the appendix atrophied, were humans capable of digesting cellulose? No, not really. We weren't digesting it. We were just providing a place where the bacteria that can reside, and they can a bit. Yes. I should react to face IQ, aka Frost. Oh, okay. Right. Now I know who Frost is. Why didn't people tell me that yesterday when I said I don't know who Frost is? Okay, I'll respond to that maybe if I get a chance.
I haven't seen that yet. Right. I did see he posted something about that.
Right. Okay, I think that's all we have time for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, Lisa. Thank you for your ideas, which were all pretty damn good. Much better than many MD PhDs. It's a shame for you, isn't it, Nick? And I'm sure that you'll be happy to join us again.
Of course.
At some point. I'll have my people call your people in the background and we'll sort that out. Here are my people. Hello. Yes, well, you go and do your thing. All right. Yep. Stick around the channel. I think in a couple of days' time, I'm talking to Elle Reeves. Quite the gent is Elle Reeves. I don't know what about, but we'll find something to talk about. And yeah, keep watching the YouTubes for the notifications, which you won't be getting because they don't send them out. They hate me in the YouTubes. They really do. In the meantime, yeah, really that's about it. Lisa, you're the guest, so you get to give us the last words.
Thank you, everyone. I'm looking forward to coming back and answering more questions because I really do enjoy it. And I see there are some good ones that we haven't got the time for. So next time.
Always leave them wanting more. Right. Go and subscribe to Lisa's YouTube and Instagram at Lisa's Life 360. Go and get yourselves organized with Sorul products if you haven't already. For goodness sake, not difficult. Click the link, say I want a wellness pack, put the products in that you want, Stem Enhance, Cyactive, and Plasma Flow. Set and forget. Too easy. And if you want it for free, send me an email and I'll tell you how that works too. It's very easy. Basically, it's become an IBO and get 3 retail customers doing the same thing. You'll get yours for free. Why pay for it? It's nuts. Okay, join us next time. Thanks.
Yes,
Still.
thank you.